How do I begin? I've been rug pulled before. Not the, I lost 50 bucks type meme coin rug. I mean, I put real money, like hundreds. I think it was actually thousands of dollars in this specific instance into a project that had a white paper, right? Which means like basically a plan of how the cryptocurrency was going to work, a team page with real people, a Discord with, 10,000 people in it. And I remember investing my money on a Monday night, right? The week was going. I'm like, let's get into action here. Let's take our money, put it into good investments. This coin looks great. And I woke up Tuesday morning and I remember seeing that it was basically all gone. The liquidity pulled, right? Socials were deleted, the team gone with their page too. It was basically like this project just never existed. And I'm sure you guys can imagine my reaction. I remember like sitting back, staring at my phone, thinking, I'm not even mad at them. Like, I'm mad at myself because, I knew it was Dex Screeners, one of those like meme coin projects, right? Somewhere in my gut, I knew, there was nothing at the end of the day backing this token except for moonshot vibes and a roadmap, right? So when I built my own token, I had to take all of this stuff into heart. I made one rule above everything else, no matter what I did, thinking about that feeling. This has to be backed by something absolutely real, something that I could rug pull. I could disappear off the face of the earth, but the thing I created that backs it can't be deleted in a single sweep. It is impossible to rug pull. And if it's not, right, I'm no different than any of the people who took my money. And I know exactly the way I felt for them. And the only thing more important than, this project is my legacy and what I want to do and the impact I want to leave in the world. Because as much as people could rug pull and make $10,000 overnight, right? We can do that already with our Nova tools and what we're already building. So to me, the only thing I'm chasing is legacy and impact in the long term. And again, not being a hypocrite. I'm Caleb Schuelke, guys. This is the Ascended Podcast. This is part of Altura. We might change the name of the podcast to the Altura Podcast, but Ascend used to be our old name. I like the concept of ascending, right? It means going up to higher altitude, which is what Altura means in Spanish. So here we are. Let's talk about it. Here's something that I think nobody explains to you when you're new to cryptocurrency in general, which is why it's been such a niche topic that's been trending. A rug pull, which again means pulling the rug out from under you, pulling you off your entire course of balance, right? Of your plan of action, your line of sight, right? Sweeping your feet from underneath you. It's not always dramatic. It's not always some like villain, twirling his mustache. Most of the time when you lose your money, it's slow, boring, and it looks completely normal until it doesn't. Step one, and this is how you rug pull somebody. I'm going to explain it so I can explain where I'm going with this and how our token works. You launch a token, cool website, right? Maybe you go on Wix, make a cool landing page, right? Usually some arts, the AI art, right? There's AI that can even make the art or the website or the idea, the image for the token. You can go on Google Whisk actually and make a token image. Like you can just tell it, create a fake meme of whatever your, T-Rex coin or Pepe, rocket moon poop coin, whatever it is, right? And then you create a Telegram group. That's where everyone posts cryptocurrencies. That's kind of where like the landing page is. So before people buy, they go in the Telegram in real time as it launches and they're chatting like, what do you guys think? Are we buying? Is this a good project? XYZ, right? And then everyone's just in there posting rocket emojis. The founders are doxxed, right? And I've been involved in that before, meaning you show your face on a Twitter space, just usually once, right? That's the bar. That's what usually passes for accountability, right? You're publicly accountable because your face is shown, or at least what people think is your face. You have a landing spot where people can reach out to you directly. If they're mad, right, that's where they're going to go, and you're taking responsibility for that. And then, right, having some sort of social and plan. Step two, once your assets are live, once your branding is live for this shit coin, you're going to create liquidity. Usually with your own money or just money from a small group of insiders that are going to ride the wave of everybody else. There's no, real plan except putting an initial value of money in. So the second it drops and then you guys put your money in, it looks like it's going to the moon. The chart goes up, massive green lines from, the start because it's basically only your money that it's measuring. And so it's going to be like an infinite return, right? People screenshot it. People share that one bar that shows it going absolutely vertical. FOMO kicks in and the regular people are scrambling, tripping over their shoelaces to come in and buy it. Finally, and this is the part that matters, right? There is no step three. There's no product. There's no revenue involved. There's no reason for the token to exist, really, other than the fact that people are buying it. The only thing holding the price up is new money coming in. It's literally just a pyramid scheme at this point. And that works, right? Because people do keep coming in. But eventually, time, hype dies, right? And when it doesn't, right? When it doesn't last, when the hype starts fading, it happens in about, I think on average, the numbers are like 11 minutes. Liquidity's gone, people start selling, the price starts shooting down to zero, and whoever's not sold out is left holding the token as worth less than the amount of gas it would take to even sell it on the system, basically the transaction fee. I've watched this happen, and I'm not even exaggerating, like hundreds of times. I've been on Deck Screener. I used to think I could like trade my way out. I've gotten excited just like everybody else. Instagram sold me the dream. And every single time when I, have a spare weekend, I'm like, let me just buy $100 of this coin. Every time the pattern's the exact same. There's no revenue, there's no product. As good as the coin is, it's not Bitcoin. It's not a revolutionary idea, right? So it's gonna go zero. There's no buybacks, right? There's no belief. The plan's shit, and belief is not a business model. Why do we have a token? Well, let me show you exactly how this happened, right? I'm gonna show you guys, and I'll tell you about a mistake that I made when I was building Altura, right? Not the kind of mistake that, you put in a LinkedIn post to like look humble and share, these are the roadblocks that kept me on my journey to success. I've been there, done that, right? I'm not trying to like relate to you guys. I really don't give a shit about that. I'm just trying to be real here and tell you about what took me months and what has actually affected our progress. When I first started building Altura, again, Altura is a social network, kind of like LinkedIn, but you get matchmake like Tinder with other founders. You don't have to go drive to Dallas to go to a networking event. You don't have to leave your house. You're just using AI. We're curating introductions that feel like you being escorted to dinner with somebody. That is another founder that can start a business with you, that has skills that you're looking for, that fills that one spot in the company that you're looking for. We're basically headhunting the next perfect business partner, buyer, whatever your kind of filters are at the time. And then again, we connect you guys on like an X style, like, social media platform. You guys can send our token like Venmo. You can buy services like Fiverr and Upwork. How did this happen, right? I was obsessed with features initially, right? I wanted the app to do everything, not just this stuff, right? But like an AI chat, a marketplace, the social feed, the wallet, token rewards, also like networking, podcasting tools, analytics dashboards existed in there. I was kind of just building like a madman. You guys have heard of vibe coding. That was kind of initially how I started. Until we got a developer. It was like 3 a.m., 4 a.m. every single night, on work nights, just shipping features. And then I launched it and nobody gave a fuck. Not because the features were bad, but because nobody understood what we were trying to do. We were like a Swiss Army knife, but people really just wanted one good knife. The failure, right? And it was a failure. I had users sign up and then like stop using it within 48 hours. That's what forced me to really sit down and ask myself the question that matters, right? When you have unlimited potential, what is the one thing that we should actually focus on that nobody else can do? Without that, you're just basically a library of half-baked tools. And the answer wasn't, to this AI. It wasn't the marketplace that we have. It wasn't our social feed. The answer was that nobody's doing these things and then giving people a reason to stay for the long term. Our token is backed by real revenue. Every dollar we make on Altura through the marketplace, through people paying for memberships, right, to have those curated introductions, through our transaction fees, right, everything else is supporting the growth of the token. And we put our money in to make sure the token price goes up in the long run. That is the foundation. So everybody that comes in and makes tokens, helping us content clip this podcast, selling their services on the marketplace and getting paid out in our token, or just US dollars, and then reinvesting that into our token. Getting cent tokens, where the platform will give you free money, free tokens, just for logging in every day. So that way we help our active user count and keep people live. That's the backbone that keeps us moving in the right direction. And over time, the more tokens you hold from just using our site, the more money you make. Every marketplace transaction generates a fee. 50% of the fees that we make off the open market go into the token. They're not, from a treasury, off the market, like a public company kind of doing stock buybacks, but we're not legally structured that way. We're trying to do it in a way where we're creating a utility token And then the rewards that go to you guys for using the platform that we're giving out in contests, airdrops, things like that, will be strategically bought back with revenues that we're making that will go into our community fund, right? So it's all going back to you guys. Except we do it, every month automatically with real money from real transactions. So it's like having a hand pushing you and guiding you along the whole way to guarantee your price is going to go in the right direction. And once I understood, right, that this thing, right, the token economics, the flywheel, everything else clicked into place. The features exist primarily, the marketplace, right, that we make fees off of, the sending tokens that we take a transaction fee off, things like that. The memberships that we sell, they drive value. Value, right, that can be sent outward and signaled to people, like on this podcast, when you guys post our clips and we pay you with tokens, all of that attracts more members in. Members drive more transactions. They list their services for sale. We teach you guys how to build things with AI, how to start a business, and then you guys can go sell those skills as services on our marketplace. When you guys make money, right, we take our small fee and then we put it back into you guys. That's the loop. That's the whole thing. I'm going to make this really simple, actually. There's two kinds of tokens in the world. Let's go back to this conversation. There's vibe-backed, V-I-B-E, and then there's revenue-backed. Vibe-backed is what 90% of crypto is almost all the time when you're seeing a crypto on social media, right? Especially social media. The token goes up because people genuinely just think it's going to go up. There's a community. There's maybe really good reels on Instagram or TikTok backing it. There's a chart, right? There's some graphs. There's a timeline that looks good. But when you peel back the layers and ask, does this make sense mathematically for the token to go up? Is there anything really foundationally going in the long term? Or is it just reliant on other people to keep putting money in? Because that is a pyramid scheme, right? There's no answer most of the time when you ask that question. Or worse, the answer is new investors will help us grow. That's literally a Ponzi scheme. That's the definition of a Ponzi scheme. Revenue-backed is completely different. And this is what I'm going for. Revenue-backed means that there's an actual underlying business to the token, an actual business with customers paying for a service, right? That's the difference between a pyramid scheme and a legitimate business with a great marketing funnel. Ours is the second because we're not selling knives. We're not selling fake consulting services. We're selling real escrow provision through our platform software. We're doing membership meetups in the real world. We're booking event halls. That's the plan. We're hosting live events, trainings, this podcast. We're paying you guys to content clip. We're providing a service to the members that want to make money here. And again, a portion of the revenue is used to buy the token. Not printed from the air. It's not directly bought like a stock because we're not a security. It's a utility token. We buy it strategically from the market, give it back to you guys with dollars that came from real human beings paying for real things that they actually need, especially that endpoint. Pay attention to it. There's value. It's not fake out of the thin air hype value. It's real value. When you would otherwise order, somebody to build a website from you on Fiverr, in this case, somebody's building a website on Altura, which is a service, and the money that Fiverr would have made is just making you more money because the money you made doing the service is now increased from $200 to $250 in the time you did the service. So you're making money as an investment the whole time you're making money. Altura is a membership platform. People pay $50 a month if they want to be one of our premium members, if they want concierge invites. We're better than LinkedIn at everything we do, except for the member count, but ours is growing by hundreds or thousands every week. People pay LinkedIn, I think, $70. In this case, right, they hire each other on the marketplace. You guys buy each other's services. Every transaction has a 5% fee for members. Half of that fee, right, so 50%. If we're doing $100,000 of volume a week, that would be $5,000. So $2,500 minimum is my plan, is going to go into some sort of rewards. A lot of the times that starts by us buying back tokens and putting $2,500 into our market cap. So here's what happens. Our team literally cannot rug because the buying pressure doesn't come from us. It comes from the members using the platform. And as long as people are making transactions, the buybacks happen. I could get hit by a bus tomorrow and the smart contract still executes. The way it's set up is still going to execute. And I don't even own tokens. I hope you guys know that. I have tokens in a wallet for the business, but my name personally isn't getting my tokens until at least The first batch will be delivered to me for my holdings in June because I have vested tokens. They don't even start depositing into my wallet. So I can't sell even if I wanted to. And even then, I only get a tiny fraction of what my total share is from when I created. And again, most of that is set up in the form of a community fund that's just going to go out to rewards anyway. So I'm not really keeping it for myself. So again, that's not a flex. That's the design. I can't push sales. I can't drive liquidity up or down. The marketplace is what's driving it. The whole point is that it doesn't depend on me being alive necessarily or being trustworthy, like I said. It depends on math. And math doesn't fucking rug pull. Take that, Dogecoin or whatever the hell it is. All right, story time. And again, this one still bothers me. About 2 years ago, I hired a developer, right? I found him on one of the big platforms. I'm not going to name it, right? But I've mentioned a few, you guys probably know. 5 stars, great portfolio, seemed legit, right? I paid him up front because that's how the platform works. About $4,000 for a 3-week development project. With inside of week 1, right? He sends me like a progress update through the chat. Looks good, week 2, another update. This is what I worked on. Still tracking. Week 3, nothing. I message him, nothing. I message again, wait about 24 hours, nothing. Day 25, he sends me a zip file. I open it. It's a template, a WordPress template for a website with my company name pasted in the header. That's it. 3 weeks, $4,000 for one file. That wasn't even really started. I disputed it, of course, on this platform. They sided with him. Do you know why? Because he delivered files. That was the criteria. Did the freelancer deliver files? Yes. Case closed. They didn't even look into it further than that. And the platform took their 20 fucking percent, $800 for facilitating the transaction where I got scammed. That's why they were motivated to just push it through. They made money on my loss. That experience still lives in my head every single day that I work on Altura's marketplace because our escrow that we hold the money doesn't release until you say, I approve the work. Not when the file gets sent to you, not when you or the buyer say, this is what I asked for, when there's agreement. And if it's not, the money doesn't move, period. And then we step in and we work with both sides. We actually care because you being happy means you come back. It means the seller comes back and sells. And it means we generate fees that go into the token that makes everyone richer at the end of the day. And the fee is 5%, not 25. Because connecting two people who already are in the same community shouldn't cost more than a nice lunch. I want to share something that happened recently, right? And I'm going to use names, right? I'm not going to use names, actually. Let's do this because I didn't ask permission. So the details are real, right? They are real. We had 2 members who were in the same circle, which is basically like a small group inside Altura organized around like shared interests. If you're members, you'll get invited to some of these circles. You can't see them on the outside because it's a private. We're the evil cabal that runs the world, right? So we have our secret, hooded meetings in the middle of the night, right? No, I'm just kidding. In this case, it was, content marketing. We were talking about that. They'd seen each other's posts, 2 of these people, right? They'd reacted to each other's stuff, but they never actually talked. Nova, which is, our AI, especially the app we're coming out with next week on the App Store, it flagged them on our platform, Altura, as a match because we're connecting AI insights into our social platform. Not because of some algorithm spitting out a percentage, but because one of them had posted about needing help with short form, like TikTok's, video strategy. And the other one literally runs a video agency. So Nova looked at that and said, well, this is an obvious recommendation. When the system, without the system surfacing it, they never would have connected with each other. They got introduced in this circle. They had a call. And within 2 weeks, the one guy hired the other for a project. Real money through our marketplace was escrow bartered, right, and changed hands on the platform with a 5% fee instead of 20. And half of that fee went into alt buybacks. That's literally just one transaction, guys. Multiply that by hundreds of members doing this every month, and you start to see why the token has a moving floor. It's not speculation, it's commerce. Real people, real work, real money flowing through the system, not some selling knives, triangle, pyramid scheme bullshit. And the craziest part The craziest part about all of this is both of them earned alt tokens just for being active members by talking to each other. So they got paid to meet each other. The tokens they were already holding became more valuable because of their own transaction. By doing business with each other, they made their holdings worth more money. That's how it should work. They literally made their own bag worth more by doing business together. When I saw that happen for the first time, I knew this thing was absolutely real. Not the idea, the mechanism. The flywheel, infinite growth flywheel actually turned. And once it turns once, it's exponential. It turns forever. People ask me, aren't you worried about the token price, right? What if it goes down? Crypto in general crashes. What if people sell? And honestly, no. I sleep fine for the most part, except my neck sometimes. And here's why. The token price is a reflection. It's a reflection, just like any market, as long as it's accurate, of how much activity is happening on the platform. If members are transacting, if they're hiring each other, if they're happy, they're using the marketplace, the buybacks happen 24/7. And buybacks create buying pressure. And buying pressure keeps pushing the price higher. If nobody's using the platform, yeah, of course the token's going to go down. But that means that the product failed, not the tokenomics, the product. And if the product fails, if Altura fails, it's on me. That's a business problem that I can solve, not a crypto problem. But here's the thing that's different about Altura. I don't need 1 million users. I don't need 820 million, likes on Instagram, whatever it is, right? I need 888. That's the number that I've set as a goal. 888 people paying $50 a month, doing business with each other. At that scale, the math works, right? The buybacks are meaningful. The community is tight. Hundreds of dollars are flowing in weekly, right? Minimum, and then it all flywheels from there. Everyone knows each other. Compare that to a token that, needs 10 million holders because of hype to sustain its market cap. And then constantly, like a pyramid scheme, finds new people. It's going to run out eventually. 10 million strangers who have no connection to each other except a penguin or a frog Pepe meme symbol on their phone. One whale sells, the founder sells, and the whole thing collapses because there's fucking nothing underneath it. And I've been there so many times. It pisses me off. Our floor isn't me. It's not like some whale holding it. Again, I don't even own the token really yet. It's just the platform community fund holds it. Our floor is 888 founders who are paying members $50. We use the platform every day, and you don't have to pay. You can still be free and use it. Just you have limits, right? Because it actually makes their business better. That's a very different kind of foundation. I don't need to convince, the world. I just need to serve 888 people so well that they never want to leave. And I'm doing pretty good at it. And that, I can do. I'm doing it right now, actually. So I know this episode, I know it wasn't hype, right? I wasn't getting you guys necessarily excited. I didn't tell you the token's going to 1,000x, even though I'm pretty sure it will. If I had to put my money down, I would be willing to feel comfortable with that assessment. I didn't tell you to buy because it's going to be too late, right? Because that's what the rug pullers say. That's their playbook, and I refuse. It pains me to even think about sounding like them. What I told you guys tonight is the truth. And I hope and I think that you guys know that. We built a token, and I just explained it, that's backed by revenue. A marketplace that charges 5% instead of 20%. An escrow system that protects your money. And a community that's capped at 888 paying members because we'd rather be great for a few than mediocre for millions. If that resonates with you guys, if you feel like you can be one of those founders that is in the inner circle, that wants to make it to the top, that wants just a shot at a better life and wants to meet with me or the other members that are on that journey, just in that more personal level, the link's below. It's alturasociety.com. I'll put it back up on the screen here. Just come look at what we're building. I'm Caleb. This is the Ascended Podcast. An Altura token cannot rug because we built it that way. The math makes sense, and you guys can see that. If you want to just buy it, you can look it up on Deck Screener. It's on our website. Go to our website, make a free account down here. You can go to the wallet page, and there should be a link in there to buy tokens and set up your Solana account. It's based on the Solana blockchain. Or you guys can also just earn the token for free by just logging in every day, sending messages, and getting connected with the one person who can solve the problem that's keeping you from being a millionaire. I'll see you guys in the next episode. Have a great weekend. And as always, as I say every time, I am rooting for you. Have a good one.